Tell us now, looking at the footages we just saw, looking at that report, it really touches everyone and anyone who is human, knowing full well that these are young girls that are looking so emaciated, dehydrated, starved. And what comes to mind readily is the condition of others who are still very out there in the forest.
Yes.
What's life like for those that you met in the town of Konduga, Bama, and its environment?
And Chibok and all of those places. You see, when a particular set of people is subjected to what this is a war situation, no other word for it, where people don't have food. People live in houses where you see bullet holes. They are almost used to bullets going off. They are almost used to that. Now you look at all of them, how hungry they look, and that tells you a lot, considering the fact that the insurgents, the food supplies has been cut off, at least to a large extent. I know that.
So that's why perhaps it's affecting the girls.
Yes, so whatever food comes to them, they feed their soldiers and not the captives. So for instance, you will notice that when Burma was taken over and those people were rescued, a lot of them were looking so hungry and so starved and so malnourished. Because for a long time, how do you feed thousands of people every day? I mean, feeding a family of 5 alone, we know how difficult it can be. Much less feeding hundreds and thousands of people. So it is almost understandable why these girls also came out the way they came out. So it now puts on the table what we need to begin to do to do moving forward. We know the problems, we know the challenges. There are IDPs that are hungry, there are captives that are coming out that are hungry. There are people who would come out and they have to start life all over completely again. They have no house, they have no furniture, they have no clothes any longer. Did you see what some of those girls were wearing? Like a big jacket of a man. So that's to tell you that they don't. Where do you expect the insurgents to get the clothes from? The best they could do then was to do those hijabs for them, and that's all. That can only cover to an extent. So a lot now has to be done. So the question for us as a people and as a government is that what standard do we want to move these people up to? Let's define that standard. What's the threshold? What's the below standard? What's the above standard? But we should have something that standardizes the care that these people must get in terms of first medical care, psychosocial support. That cannot be overemphasized. In terms of several things that now need to be done to put their life back together again. So I think that once we can define each of it, so when we say psychosocial support, what level of psychosocial support, what should be done, how long should it take? Is it just them or them and their parents and then other relatives that would work with them? Because the same values that they went with is not what they came back with. The same ideologies, the same perception to life is not what they came back with. So the question is, what do we need to begin to do to take them off that life that they live? 2 years is long enough. Let that sink in. So what do we need to do to move them from where they are right now to a particular standard that we would have defined? Thank God about what the Vice President said yesterday, to say that we have made provision for your accommodation, good accommodation. We've made provision for this, for you that wants to go to school, or for those of you who want to go and learn something. We've made provision for that. That's to tell you that there's been something on ground that these children need to now go through. So in terms of education as well, at what point do we want to begin to consider education for them? What would they have gone through?
So, sorry to cut you. In all of this, moving forward, do you think some of these needs of the girls can be rendered by some members, if not all of them, of the Bring Back Our Girls group?
Definitely. Definitely, but what is a lot?
Because in the eye of the world, you can comfortably say the Bring Back Our Girls group are the parents, of these girls. So, yes. What form of assistance can the group also bring to help these girls?
First is to understand that the Bring Back Our Girls group has been an advocacy group calling for the rescue of not just the Chibok girls but other abductees. So there is one, but it does not take away the fact that there are human capital within the Bring Back Our Girls group that is able to provide some of these services. But what I must say is that there has to be concerted and coordinated effort that is, multi-sectoral, health, education, and all of this, and have a plan. So what we need to do moving forward is to monitor how these 21 girls and the earlier girl that came back, how they are being handled, to what extent is their life being restored, and what should we begin to see to make sure that other girls that would come back are going to fit into a particular process that would have been defined as a result of these ones that have come ahead.
And I think once again, congratulations are in order for the Bring Back Our Girls group.
Thank you.
And to all Nigerians. Bukky Shonibare has been speaking with us on the return of the 21. She's a strategic member of the Bring Back Our Girls group and has only just returned from Chibok.